Okay, and we're live and we're ready for the start of this race here at FSBRacing.com. This is the Chicken Run, the late night West Coast series. And as we see the cars going onto the track for their pace lap, we will be getting underway here. Let's run down the field. On the pole, Robert Bokum. Followed by Sean Johnson. Starting third, Steve Weber. Fourth, Ken Rain. Troy is in fifth. Pat is in sixth. Alan seventh. Dog eighth. And we are green. This is a tire wear race. The guys who manage their tires the best are going to win this race. And Robert Bokum is a master at saving tires. Let's see how he does that as he comes around to lead lap 1 out of 99 laps. You can see that there's been some squirreliness in the back of the field here. Pace car is out. We'll have to see what happened there. There we see some smoke. And looks like Pat took a spin there. Let's replay that for the audience here and see what happened. Looks like Pat just got a little loose on the cold tires. He went around. Alan, nowhere to go, spun as well. Pat into the outside wall. Hard. 2 tires up on the safer barrier. How about that? And then as you saw there, his pal Dean, just trying to avoid the mess, looks like he also went around. Hard contact there between Alan and Pops. Dean looked like he avoided most of the mayhem. Might need some new tires there. But minimal damage to some, but Pat hit the wall hard. I don't know what that's going to be like. As we go back live, we can see Pat's back end is mashed in. He's getting some repairs done. I'm sure he's not going to be happy so early in the race to have that kind of damage. But cold tires here at the Rock are something you just got to be a little careful with. And he's back out on the track. We're still under caution here. Bring back the leaders. And as you can see the recap there. Robert, Sean, Steve, and Ken. Top 4, followed by Troy, Dog, and then the guys that had some issues there, Alan, Guy, who I think avoided the bulk of that mess, and Dean, who also doesn't look like he had any vehicle damage, so I think he'll be alright, and Dean's fast. But Pat and Pops did have some contact there separately, so we'll have to see how they fare once we go back green. The lights are out. on the pace car. Let's see what we do here. As you can hear, Robert saving fuel. The guy is a consummate professional. If he can save a gallon of fuel, he'll save a gallon of fuel. And you can see he's doing that right now. The lights are off on the pace car, and we should be racing very shortly as they go down the backstretch here. Pace car is pulling off. And we're back to green flag racing. Robert is leading them around again. Sean in second, Webb in third. You can see that we're starting already to get some position battles. Here you see Troy in the 17 car, followed closely by the 108 of Dog Palmer. And Dog looks like he's looking to the inside of Troy here. Let's see what happens. It's early on in this race, so don't expect a lot of action to happen here. Guys want to get those tires warm. This league, if a guy knows that you're faster. Oh, and you see there that Palmer got a little loose there, and that scrambled the back of the pack and created a separation now. And 101 Alan Myers took advantage of that, followed by Guy, and then Dog slipped back, lost 2 positions, and he's losing a couple more and might have a little slippage there in the tires. Wants to get it back under control, and he has, and should be okay now. But you can see that backpack scrambled up a little. We got Alan and Guy and Dean back there that all were involved in that early caution. They're trying to catch back up to the front pack. And as we go back up to the front, we see there Troy, Ken, Webb, Sean, and Robert continue in the same positions. No surprise there, really. These guys are pros. They race with each other for a long time. They know what each other does and what they can do. And right now, as it is early in the race, these guys are content to stay in line and log some laps. And with the separation there, they don't really have a lot of pressure right now, so they're just looking already and thinking about what they're going to do on this green flag stop that they would anticipate coming up, I'm sure. And that's what FSB has many of, is green flag stops, and that really separates the rookies from the pros. I struggle with my green flag stops on occasion. I slide through the pits, I stop too short, get too close to the wall. And here we have another caution, and the pace car's coming out, so let's take a look at that and see what happened there. We'll rewind that just like we did before and see if we can find out what happened. Well, let's see here. That's guy going down low inside of Allen. And again, with this track, that inside line, he was turning hard, most likely. Back in, got around on him. Dean locked him up, stayed off of him. But unfortunately, behind him, as you can see, with Pops and Dog, they weren't able to woe down in time. And as you can see right there was some contact as Pops slowed down. And John just wasn't quick enough to get onto the binders. And that sent Pops hard into the outside wall, along with Pat, who came sliding in as well. So some pretty big damage from these guys. Let's go back live and see what their status is. As you can see, some of them are coming in. Looks like John decided to stay out. Rest of the guys coming in. And there was some pretty hard hit there by Pops on the outside wall. I would be surprised if he didn't have some significant repairs if he wants to stay in this race. Let's take a look at this pit stop here. And let me bump some things up here while we're waiting. Put the pit crews in. Here you can see he's back out on the track. Let's go back up to the front, check on Robert. Robert continues to lead. Sean in second. Got Ken in third. Troy in fourth. Dean in fifth. So Dean, after that first spin, you can see he's back up in the top 5. Good job by Dean. Allen right behind him, followed by Webb, who obviously made a pit stop. Pat, who hasn't had much luck so far in this race. He took a hard hit and then got caught up in that second one trying to woe it down. And there's Pops, who I know took another hard hit there on that second caution. And there's Palmer catching back up to the field in 7th. His car's in. And we're racing. Robert continues to lead. He's led every lap so far, in 19 of 99 complete. And you can see he stretches it out already. You can see the rest of the field string out behind him, staying in line. Let's see if we can get some green flag laps here. These guys, they want to get to the front here, and on these, until these tires heat up after a few laps, they're a little dicey on exit. We saw it 2 times now. The 2 cautions, both were basically on exit, coming exit of the turn, or right on the entrance where you're turning in. And on those cold tires, you just don't get the grip. Robert continuing the lead. Sean, Ken, Troy, and Dean. Top 5 stays the same. little separation now. Allen and Webb. This will be a interesting battle. I think Webb with the fresh tires and right out of the pits, clean vehicle. I know Allen was involved early in that first incident. I think Webb will be seeing the pack kind of running away here, and I think he'll want to get by Allen, see if he can catch up to Dean, who's in 5th. This is the 6th and 7th position battle, and you can see here that Webb is right on Allen's back bumper. He's running a little higher line through the corner. And as you saw there, Dean just kind of slipped up there and brushed the wall. It's going to kill some momentum and help Allen and Webb. And Webb continues to shadow him here. Both guys running good. As you can see, they caught up to Dean, who brushed that wall there, and he did it again. And I think Dean might have some issues here with the handling of the car coming out of the turns. I don't know if that was from some of that damage or if he was damaged, but it's very unlike Dean. He's a good driver. He's a fast driver. And as you can see, here we go. Webb making the move. And the move is complete. And now he's going to set his sights on Dean, and he's got, looks like he got another run here on Dean for the 5th position. That D-shaped front stretch, you can kind of swing it down into turn 1. A little better angle. The back stretch is more traditional, and so is 3 and 4. And Webb looking on the inside of Dean here. He's running the low line now, right on the yellow line. Dean's up high, giving him plenty of room to complete the pass. And it is complete. And Webber now is in the 5th position. And he's got his sights set on 4th place, which would be Troy. Top 4 here. As you can see, we also have a new leader, and that is Sean Johnson. So we got Sean now in the lead. Robert in 2nd, not too far behind. This could be one of Robert's tire fuel decisions. He's been known to just hang back just a little, and then toward the end of a run, he's got the best equipment, and he's able to pick up a lot of ground on the field when their tires are getting old and worn out. His are still fresh, and he can still lay down quality lap times where everyone else kind of slipping up. As you can see, Robert's running 25s. His best 24.8. You can see very consistent window there of just 0.2 separating his best from his average so far. Back in 3rd is Ken and Troy are battling now for the 3rd position. Let's see what happens here. Ken a little high. And looks like Troy will take advantage of that and passes him on the inside as they go into 3 and 4. And they cross the line here. Troy is now in 3rd and Ken 4th. Back to the front, Sean and Robert are put a little room now in between Troy and Ken. Sean is now leading the race, as I said. As we go back, see that Webb continues to be in 5th, trying to make some headway. Allen 6th. Dean's really struggling here. It looks like he bounced off the wall again. Not quite sure what's going on with Dean. I think he might have some handling issues from maybe that spin. Maybe there was a little more damage than I thought there was, and he's having some handling issues with the car. But he's fighting it in the 7th place, followed by Pops. And back to the front. Sean and Robert continue to lead it. Troy has separated himself from Ken. And there you see Webb. Webb is making some ground, I believe. Looking at that, let's take a look at the intervals here real quick. You can see Sean and Robert are right there, and then you can see that Troy's put a half a second in front of Ken. And Webb just about 2.4 seconds back of Ken. And now let's stay on this and watch the intervals change as they cross the start-finish line. See if Webb is making some inroads as we see Troy on the small screen turning some laps. Well, looks like the interval may be getting slightly bigger here. That's a 2.5, so Ken looks like he's settled back in, and he's coming back on Troy, it looks like. I think Ken got a little out of shape, got a little high when Troy got under him, and now he's gathered it back in, and looks like he's turning some decent laps now. Let's go back to the big screen here, and let's take a look at Ken's lap times here. See, his last lap was a 25.399, best of 24.6, which is extremely fast. See the good crowd here at the Rock. $25,458. Webb running at 25.6, so yeah, there is a little gap there in time. Webb might have had to drive that car a little harder than he'd like to make those passes. I think he's content on just maintaining and looking forward to a green flag stop, I'm sure. Troy continues to run in 3rd. Up to the front. Perfect timing as we see Robert Bokum going inside of Sean for the pass as they go into turn 1. He has completed it. And as they come out of 2 down the backstretch, he's got the lead again. Those two have pulled away from the rest of the field. And we are right about the halfway, coming up on the halfway point, excuse me. 43 of 99. Of course, halfway would be about 50. Or 49 and a half if you want to be technical. And Robert now leading the race. I think Sean's content to just stay in touch with him. If he slips up, of course he'll take advantage of that, but that rarely happens, folks. This guy knows how to drive, he knows how to run the line, and you can see he's, from the time he passed him to now, he's increased his lap time by, bettered his lap time by half a second. Troy continues to run in 3rd. Ken 4th. Webb 5th. Allen, really nice recovery from early contacts, running in 6th, and looks like he's running a pretty good line. His lap was 28, which that's not a very good lap. But you can see he's come back down, but losing time to the leaders. Pops is actually looks like picking up the pace a little on Allen. And again, Pops was hard into the wall, into the safer barrier. And I'm pretty impressed with this drive here. I didn't think he would be able to keep up with anyone after that hard hit. But you can see he's slowly closing in here on Allen for the 6th position. Robert continuing the lead. Sean right on his bumper. And it looks like we have a caution here. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Looks like Allen spun right in front of the leaders there, and Robert, I think, was kind of not sure which way he was going to go, if he was going to stay up on the wall or come down. But both Robert and Sean slowed it down enough to keep the control. Incident averted there, and we are under caution. We're on lap halfway, about at the halfway point now. Of course, we'll see pit stops here. Let's take a look at that incident there with Allen. I'll rewind it here for you. Okay. You can see here that Allen got a little squirrely, and then Pops gave him just a little love tap there and put him hard on the... Oh, wow, that was a hard hit on the inside wall. And then as he came up, he slid into the outside wall right in front of the leaders. Woo, that was a disaster averted there. We'll rewind that one more time while we're under caution here. Let's take a look at Pop's bumper cam here and see if there was any kind of contact. There you can see Allen right ahead of him. He gets a little loose there, as you can see. And there's the contact. And that put Allen into the outside wall. We can look from his cockpit, and you can watch this hit, folks. This is a hard hit. That was a hard hit right there, folks. Here we can watch his in-car. Got a little loose, got the tap, and hard into the wall there. And then he tried to flip the car, but flipped it a little too much, and as he tries to get it straight, there come the leaders right behind him. And now we're back live. You can see he's exiting pit lane. And he's going to continue in this race. Looking at the in-car of Robert Bokum. As you can see, he's got no one in front of him but the pace car. He's used to that side, folks. As you see the cars coming by as they line back up. We're on lap 52 of 99 here at FSBRacing.com. Chicken Run at Rockingham. Looks like we're getting ready to go back green. And we're back underway. Resetting the lineup here. Not really much of a reset. Weber really benefited in Troy and Ken because they were kind of out of contact with the top two. And now they're right back in it. But as you can see now, as the laps are winding down, Robert really strong into the lead here. Sean hanging with him. And you can see Troy just coming into your picture there. So the top three, top four, I'm sure with Ken. There's Troy in third, right on Sean's bumper now. Steve in fourth position has gotten by Ken. So Steve really was a beneficiary from that caution. He was probably 5-6 seconds off the lead, and now he's closed back up, and now he's in fourth position, and you can see he's right on the leaders. Ken falling just a tick back. There you can see the top four. You could throw a blanket over them. And Ken trying to get back in the mix. And it wouldn't surprise me if he did. Ken's a great driver. He's fast. He knows how to get around the track, just like the top four do. And you can see here Weber is really trying to get to the front now. It's go time for Webb. And see that Robert pulled out to a little lead, but now they've reeled him back in. See Steve there going a little high. Maybe trying to get some momentum built up so he can make a run down this front straight here. But that did cost him a little ground. The inside line right around the bottom of the track, you can see the racing line there. That's where you want to be. Fact, I'll take that line out real quick so you can just focus on the track. There we go. And continues, the top four continue to be Robert, Sean, Troy, and Webb. Ken in fifth. About a half second behind them, maybe a little less. But the top five have now really separated themselves from the rest of the field. The rest of the guys did take some damage here and there throughout this race. Don't think that any of those guys will be able to be competitive to challenge here, but it will be decided amongst these top five. And top five are continuing to turn some laps here, staying in line. No one really needs to do much here, to tell you the truth, until we have to do some green flag stops. We haven't had the opportunity to do any green flag stops in this race. That last run, they were probably maybe 5 to 10 laps away from pit stops, and the caution came out. So weren't able to see them, but I think might have to be one more stop here before the end of this race. We're watching Troy here. He's right in the thick of things. Weber bird dogging him. Ken laying back there, just maybe saving a little fuel possibly. I don't know if you can make it to the end here. I would doubt it. I didn't find out what a fuel run was here, but tire wear is also pretty big here, so I would be surprised if they could do a full fuel run, unless your name is Robert Bocum or one of them who He's a master at tire wear, keeping those tires cool. Let's just we'll just keep an eye on these guys for now. Well, there's the top 5 still in line. We are on lap 66 and 99. And the lead continues to be Robert, followed by Sean and Troy, Webb, and Ken. And that's been the order for about this entire run so far. These guys know that they've pulled away from the rest of the field. They know that they're going to be the ones deciding this race. I think they're content to drive here, looking forward to their final stops, and I think that's going to really be when the race is on. If you're Sean, if you're Troy, if you're Webb, you got to think, what can I do to get past Robert? And I'm sure they all know from their own personal experiences that that's not an easy task to do. And you can see just Robert just running very smooth laps right down on the yellow line, accelerating out of the turns against the wall. Turning in right down onto the yellow line in turns 1 and 2. And it looks like we might have another caution here. There was some smoke. Looks like the leaders are still at speed though, so we're still staying green. Guess we can see what that was about there. Looks like Pat's out of the race. John's out of the race. Alan is still riding around, beaten up. You can see that back bumper mashed in pretty good. Dean is out of the race. Pops is still turning some laps in 6th, but he's well off the pace. Also suffered some damage. So we'll go back here to the top 5. Ken and Webb are battling now for that 4th position. Ken has got a run on him. He got a little loose there, trying to cut the wheel down underneath Webb. Looks like the back end might have chased out on him, but being the pro that he is, he gathered that back in. Didn't lose much time to the field, and he'll gather it back in and try it again in a second. Going back to the front here, Robert and Sean continue to be 1-2. As you can see, they're putting a lap here on Alan, who's given him plenty of room on the outside. All 5 were successfully able to get around him, and they continue. Robert has pulled out to a little cushion here over Sean. As we get to 25 laps to go, I don't think they can make it to the end. I don't know that for a fact, but we will see what happens here. Robert is continuing to lead. Sean has closed back up along with Troy and Webb there, as you saw real quickly. There's the top 5 flying by. If you know you have to pit here, the question is, do you pit on your own? Do you talk to the other guys and see if you can get a couple guys to pit with you? Obviously draft here doesn't play too much of a factor, so you can turn fast laps by yourself. Will they just take a cue from Robert? Will they just stay out until they see him making his intentions known? Or will they be on their own agendas? You can see still the top 5 is very much together. Any one of the 5 with a mistake could capitalize. We are now down to 20 to go. Robert continuing the lead. Sean, Troy, Webb, and Ken. The order has been pretty much the way it's been since the last caution. And oh, we got a problem here, I think, folks. Sean lost it. Do we have a caution? Yes, caution is out. That's a big break for Sean. Let's see what happened there. I'm almost speechless. I'm very surprised about that. That's just something that doesn't normally happen. And as you can see, as he just went in, it maybe on old tires, but no one else involved in that. He was hard into the outside wall. Caution did come out though, which will allow him to stay on the lead lap. Sure, he has some damage though that he's going to have to address. As we go back live, let's take a look at the leaders as they go in for their pit stops. And we'll follow Robert in. Troy right behind him, who is now the second place runner. Wow, what a bad break for Sean. That's really surprising. I have to think that he was on some old tires there, because it didn't look too obvious to me why that car went around. And you can see Robert on the pole, pitting in the first pit box. There you see Sean coming in. He might need some repairs. Outside tires are changed. Now doing left sides. And he's down and away. Troy. Don't know if I'm seeing this right, but Sean possibly got back out in 3rd position, which is really a surprise. Let's see when they cross the line here and their positions reset. Yes, Sean is now in 3rd position. How he did that, that's quite amazing. Let's rewind that back to the pit stops here, folks. And see how he managed to pull that off. Here he comes into the pits. You see the right side tires being changed. Left side's being changed. Here you see Troy coming out in 2nd. And all 3 guys basically dropped. What a great pit stop by the Johnson crew. Wow. That was pretty impressive. back to the set this order for you here. We got Robert in first, Troy in second, Sean in third with some damage. I don't know. We'll see how Sean runs. Webb in fourth and Ken in fifth. I think those guys are going to be deciding this. Looks like the caution light is still lit. So we will have at least another lap of yellow flag here before we get underway. And it's going to be a dash for cash here, folks. It's going to be probably a restart with about 13 to go. It's hammer down time with 13 to go. So we'll see what Robert does. We'll see what Troy has. If Troy has something for him. We'll see if Sean has any damage that's going to affect his running position here in third as we get underway. Green flag is out, and away they go. Allen being a lap down here. They're going to sneak around him, but you can see Webb had to go a little high there to get around him. Sean in third now, as you can see them go off into turns 3 and 4. There's Webb and Ken, who lost a little time there to the top 3. And there we see back to the leader, Robert Bokum. And there's the top 3 right there. Robert, Troy, and Sean. Sean's car does not look like it's any worse for wear from that bump. Let's follow these guys around here and see if we can watch a pass here. We have now 12 laps to go. And Sean is making a move onto the inside of Troy. As they come out of the turn, he's right on the back bumper here, folks. He's really pressing him. Let's see how Troy handles it. Looks like he's running his race, running his line. But Sean is right there. Anything slipping up by Troy here, and Sean looks like he'll jump on it. Robert has not pulled out from too far away from him, so might be decided by these 3 now. Have to check back here real quick before we get too many more laps in. And there you see Ken has gotten by Webb. But you can see the gap developed there between the top 3 and Ken. There's Sean in third. Looks like he's been trying to figure out how to get by Troy. Troy running his race, running his line. And he's staying right with Robert as well. He's only about 2 car lengths ahead of these 2. And you can see Sean looking on the inside again. Just not up close enough to make that pass. You can see the separation between third and fourth. There is now 8 laps to go. And the top 3 continue to be Robert, Troy, and Sean. Sean has had a couple looks at Troy on the inside, but just wasn't able to get all the way up to his quarter panel to make any kind of move. It's content on running behind him right now while he builds up to make maybe one more run at him. Of course, if you're Robert and you look in your mirror and you see that happening, you're smiling because you know if they're battling each other, they can't battle you. But as they get him back in line here and stay in line, both Troy and Sean are able to keep in contact with the leader. So this is not decided by any means, folks. We now have approaching 5 laps to go. Looks like we're going to have a great finish here. There you can see the top three as they go by. Sean and Troy continuing to battle. There we go, under the 101 of Allen, who had some damage early in the race and has been a little off the pace now, giving him plenty of room. And they all successfully get by him and continue to battle. Robert still has a couple car length lead. He's maintained it. You can see that fourth place Ron, and Steve Webb have closed slightly on the second and third place cars. We got 3 laps to go. Don't think they're going to have anything for him. The question is, will Troy and Sean have anything for Robert? You keep maintaining that 3-4 car length lead now as they complete lap 97. Two laps to go. Troy's trying desperately, I know, driving the wheel off that car right now, trying to catch Robert. Robert's just smooth and steady, runs that same line over and over. He's fast. He's kept that 4 car length lead, 3 car length lead this whole entire run. And as we come here on the final lap, as we go down the back stretch, Robert, Troy, and Sean will probably be your 1, 2, and 3 finishers. Don't see anything changing here. And as we cross the start finish line, it's Robert Bokum with the win. Robert does the double tonight. Won the super speedway race earlier in the night and now backs it up with a great win at Rockingham. He led a lot of laps and a well-deserving win for Robert. Second place Troy made a great run. I'm sure he tried everything he could think of. But really, Sean with a great recovery after being into the wall, that he maintained that third position very impressively. Very impressed with Sean's driving there at the end, and a great pit stop. Here you see Webb with a little love tap there for Troy. They're all friends here. That's what it's all about. Let's go watch Robert do some celebrating here, folks. He's good at that. I guess he's celebrated out. But we can rewind that and watch these celebratory burnouts here. Well, I've seen better burnouts, Robert. With all the wins, he's probably tired of burning out. He does it all the time, so he doesn't have the allure as a first, second, third time winner might feel. But a great win nonetheless from Robert Bokum. Let's take a look at the final running order here, folks, as we finish up here. Robert, Troy, Sean, and Ken, followed by 5th place Steve Weber. Pops, I'll tell you what, Pops, you did a great job finishing 6th on the lead lap after some damage. Allen hung in there boldly, finished 3 laps down in 7th. And then some guys that had some earlier incidents, Dean, Pat, Dog, and Guy, who had some early incidences, and they weren't able to finish the race. But a great race. Robert, again, is one of the best here at FSB and proved it tonight with a super speedway win and then a speedway win. That's a good double, Robert. Congratulations. Well, folks, I'm going to call it a night. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If you aren't a member and you're watching this on Twitch or on YouTube, check it out. www.fsbracing.com. It's a great league, great guys, running every night except Saturday nights. So come check us out. Well, my name's Greg, and I appreciate you listening to the race, and hope to do another broadcast soon.